Well, later tonight, a November snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Minnesota Vikings. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Now the first running back drafted in April, this is Breece Hall. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Hall again on second down. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
59!
Back to throw, Stafford. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions, can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They run with a 4th-year man. This is Damian Harris. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. And that CD, one heck of a run. He just refused to go down.
And that's where determination comes in, because he had at least a couple of guys had really good shots at him, but he just said, I don't think so. Speed, power, elusiveness, all on display right there. Look like you, partner, back in your salad days in Evansville.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Grant, he will not return it, and his guys will begin at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st down, right back to Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The Vikings at 1-8 now on the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. Now a first down throw. Stafford. They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Chuck Clark picking it off. And the Cowboys will take over here at their own 12-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Well, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 54 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be. Right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. That's complete to Pierce. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Now a play fake, and it's Watson sliding out of the pocket. He'll get this complete to Kadarius Toney. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Back to throw, Watson. Able to get this one to McBride. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
2nd and 6. A run with Harris out of the shotgun.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. Man open, it's Tony. He's got it. And he is going to have the Cowboys first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. So they convert on 4th, and now from just outside the 30, here's 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Vikings, nothing.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Watson now to throw. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Like it's been this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
The kick by Elliott is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage. With man coverage, you're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
When people talk about plays being blown up, that's exactly what they're talking about. That's Exhibit A for physical play.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Ball again on 2nd down. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot him at the 44. 41 yards rushing for him now to this point. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
They get 5, and it will go ahead and move the chains.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now it's Stafford. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added on to their lead, but that was a drive that was so long it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game, but we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive, and he's going to profess that he was happy to get points, and we know that's not true. Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
On 2nd and 7, Watson. That one finds Pierce right side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A gain of 10 as they look to add on to this 10-point lead. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From just shy of midfield, Watson stiff-armed him. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. On the give, this is Harris. And down to the 36-yard line here. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Again, it's Harris on second down. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Faking the give. Now Watson. That's complete to McBride. Touchdown, Cowboys. Trey McBride, his 6th touchdown of the season. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards. And boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
1st and 10 here. If they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
To throw again on 2nd down. Stafford.
And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
They'll run with Hall. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here we go on 4th. Stafford. And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with a football. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. On second down, this is Harris. Powers through him. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the offense will burn their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So not the greatest of first halves for them, but a little ray of light here at the end. The late turnover becomes 3 points before the break.
Well, they certainly needed something positive to go their way. Maybe 3 points doesn't seem like a huge deal in the grand scheme of things, but at least it's something to build on as they head into the half.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together.
And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
Jabril Cox there on the tackle.
So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
And the half will begin with a touchback.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A shotgun snap for Watson. Throw left side, going to be taken in by Harris. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Vision and speed, 2 of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle because where it goes, that's where you find his body. And he was able to get in there and make a great play.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson.
That'll be caught. It's Tony. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Watson off play action. And this one is incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson.
He's got his man. It's Pierce. And they're going to get this up to midfield. And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. He'll bite, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Credit that to the former Texas Longhorn, Joseph Osai, who got in there.
They need stops to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Here comes Grant on the return.
Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Hey, 22!
They'll start on the ground. Hall.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Stafford. He finds his man, complete. It's Grant. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
On 2nd and 9, Stafford.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, 50! Hey, 70!
Stafford now to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
And here's Morstead now as he sends this one away.
On the return, it's Tony.
Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place.
But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Now here's another carry for Harris. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Throwing on third down, Watson. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is the team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
Julian Okwara there to bring him down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Right. 32.
Now Stafford. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on third. Throwing is Stafford.
And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. Final minute now of the third quarter. Off of play action, it's Watson.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now it's Watson. It's brought in by Harris. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league,
They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Now a first down throw, Watson. That went into the hands of Tony downfield. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Kadarius Toney, 75 yards. And the Cowboys are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Jake Elliott set to kick off.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side of this one.
A drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And with this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline, because he certainly wants them to finish this one out the way they started it. He doesn't want to give up any soft completions, no late points. He wants his lead to stay right where it is.
62 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw is Stafford. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Jakeem Grant, 57 yards. And the Vikings are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Santos with the extra point, and the lead now down to 20. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Returnable for Grant. .42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be second and a couple.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offense coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field, so play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. A lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Rolling, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Joseph Osai able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
139 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. The offense on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Watson. That's complete to Pierce. And he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
While they're able to come away with the interception, Charles, they aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things through this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Give me radar.
Ball again on 2nd down. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Paul again. And he'll be taken down at about the 45.
He was brought down at the 45-yard line. A gain of 2.
40 got! 40 got! Zero!
Play action. Stafford. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
A.J. Terrell on the coverage.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
On third down, here's Hall.
And he will get this to the midfield stripe, but that's not going to be enough. He's a few yards short.
A gain of 6 yards. It's 4th down.
40 got! 40 got!
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. CD, you remember John Elway?
Oh, boy. How could I forget John Elway and how many NFL defenses? So glad he's no longer throwing the ball around.
Well, Elway threw for 51,475 yards, and we just saw him go past that number for career passing yards.
That means his career now as memorable as John Elway's, and that's a pretty significant accomplishment.
And what an accomplishment it is. Congratulations. And he's still doing it. Still doing it at a high level.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9. And they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Now a play fake and it's Stafford. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. And now here comes their final timeout as they take it with 8 ticks remaining.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Double right!
They snap it to Stafford. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Wait a second. That's got to be a mistake. They declined it.
That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, it doesn't at all, because you want that penalty. All right, they just picked up a first down, right? You want the penalty.
I am so confused right now. Down to an goes Watson, and that should just about do it for this ball game. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for the Cowboys, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2. And now they'll have the short week ahead as they'll host their annual Thanksgiving Day game on Thursday. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful 1-9 so far. And they'll try again next week at home against New England.